the Christ of the Bible really is a story that comes out of ancient Kemet. You know, that's a story that belongs to us.
Well, what about the Ethiopian official? What about the Ethiopian official? Yeah, the guy who, I don't know if you consider him as Lord, like they say Lord of Lords, King of Kings. Haile Selassie wrote, and I quote, "We in Ethiopia have one of the oldest versions of the Bible, but however the old version may be in whatever language it might be written, the word remains one and the same. It transcends all boundaries of empires and conception of race.
That's right.
It is eternal." No doubt you all remember reading in Acts of the Apostle how Philip baptized the Ethiopian official. He is the first Ethiopian on record to have followed Christ.
Yeah.
Who is Christ?
Well, Christ is a living being. But the Christ of the Bible has been tampered with by the Greeks. It's been tampered with by the Romans. So, for instance, we celebrate the birth date of Christ as December 25th. That is a pagan festival of the winter solstice.
And the Bible says that.
We celebrate the death of Christ in Easter. In that period. That's a solstice from pagan rituals.
Exactly.
So what they did as Europeans, they married their religion, their doctrines into Christianity. And we as black people now have an image of a white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired God. Very few black people in the Bahamas have an image of a black Christ. They don't look at God in the image of themselves. They see it through the eyes of their slave master.
That's why I say
that's what's the problem. That's why I'm glad you say that.
You know?
But Brother Utah, let me just throw this in. Dr. Leakey, an anthropologist, went in search of man's beginning. He didn't go to Europe. He went to Africa. He came back, and the oldest findings, this is a white man, that he labeled was that whatever he found, that was the bones of black people. Now, he then said, black is dominant, brown, blue is recessive. You can get the recessive from the dominant, but you can only get the dominant from the dominant. So, what we are saying, white people could not have produced us, but for sure, we have produced them. So if we have produced them, we were before them, which is telling, if the only man that God made out of mud, the Quran said he was fashioned out of black mud.
It is black, because if you look at the colors, you mix green with black, what you get? You mix yellow with black, blue with black, any color you mix with black, you get a different color. Black is the substance.
Exactly. Of all colors.
From all colors.
Use it as a backdrop.
So what we're saying, when you speak of races of people, we are not a race. We are the essence from which all race comes. So now that we know that, or now that I know that, I'm saying, why? Why did they lie? Why did we take the real cross, the real Christ off the cross, so to speak, if he was ever on this, and put something that Michelangelo painted?
But we did stray, because I know my viewers are that they want to know if you believe, and you, Mr. Hanna, as I believe, when I die, they bury me on the day of the resurrection. I intend to be one of those 10,000, or how much they said, that is going to ascend into the skies.
You believe that?
God.
You believe that? You really believe that?
Well, I sure.
You look like you endowed.
No,
you look like you endowed, Utah. I mean,
I was taught that, Brother Hanna.
Yeah, but you know they taught us wrong.
I was taught
because
that.
what the fella that taught us that wanted us to store our treasures in a mystical kingdom that we would never attain empowerment.
But no,
our slave master didn't want us to struggle for independence and self-sufficiency on this day, in this era right now. They wanted us to postpone that struggle. So if in our lifetimes we didn't resist slavery, we didn't try to empower ourselves, then whatever aspiration we'd have after death, that wasn't a concern of theirs. Because far as they concerned, when you're dead, you're gone. Now Rasta don't have no doctrine where we accept a revival when you're dead. When you're dead, you're gone. That's why I don't care. I don't go to funerals. I can't go to funerals.
I don't believe that though. I don't know.
Will you ever know anybody to come back?
No, sir. But I do believe, from the top of my heart, right? I do believe that God has some sort of plan for us or for me after I die. What it is, I ain't sure. But I believe that God has some kind of plan. You know?
But I'm more concerned, and the work you're doing now, Brother Utah, I mean, makes me doubly concerned, is the work you do right now in this day and age. Because you empowering this community. I mean, you have given the average man on the street a voice behind the camera.
Yes, sir.
They had it on the call-in show. But until you came on the scene, ain't nobody had a clue what the average fellow on the street wanted to say.
Yes, sir.
You speak for the common man.